We are here with EvE Online. This is Inferno, and we are running at an incredibly low resolution like a boss. But this is the continuation of my Let's MMO thing. Let me not say my password out loud so you guys can ninja hacks into my account here, not that there's anything on it. But this is EvE Online. We're going to kind of jump into a trial account here that I've had going for a few days. We have 12 days left, so 2 days, give or take or so. Welcome Sleepy Joe 4. Wow. That's not the only Sleepy Joe account I have, by the way. I'm pretty sure I have a bunch. I have a Sleepy Joe 25, which is actually my main account. But here's my character that I made, Nikael Medane. I don't know where I came up with that name, but there's Nikael Medane. Here's some basic stats. His location, active ship, he's in a Merlin. There's some skills. Training queue finishes in 11 hours because lol what? There's his wealth, security status, and all of this good stuff. You can click this button, tiny little button for a reason to terminate it. Once you terminate him, I believe there's a 24-hour wait, and then he is completely gone. There's no getting him back. So don't do that unless you really mean it, by the way. We're going to go ahead and enter the game here. Not really going to explain terribly much. I'm going to showcase the station, kind of not really wander around at all, to be honest, because I don't like to wander around. In fact, I'm not even in the station anymore for whatever reason. Not sure what happened to that, but let's shrink that down a little bit. There's supposed to be a walking around bit part of the station. I guess it's enter captain's quarters there, but I don't really like that part, to be honest. In fact, you can't even see it when you're in this scene. That's a little weird. But here's my Merlin. It's a nice little ship. This is a frigate, probably the strongest of the Caldari frigates. I am a Caldari character. On the left hand here you have your common buttons. These are available all the time, in space, in a station. That's the only different places you can go, in space or in a station. So here's all these buttons. There's the help one at the bottom. Up here at the top, which I can't see because it's covered by my frame rate, is anything that might not be listed. So here's all this stuff, basically everything. It opens basically everything you'd want to see. Here's the social, fleet, sovereignty, business, etc., etc. You can open a browser in-game, which is hilarious. I really like that. It's essentially a full-featured browser in the game. It's pretty fast. I mean, here's the actual EvE Online website. None of the mobile nonsense. It's the actual website. Full-featured browser. In fact, I could probably go to youtube.com and watch videos. Let me see if this actually works, in fact. This is... I'm not sure if you can actually watch videos in the browser. Does it? No, you can't. I thought you could. Oh well, it's not quite full-featured, but you've got most of everything you could want for a browser in-game, so... I mean, you're usually going to be watching that in a different tab or something like that, and your normal browser, you tab out and watch a video or something and listen to it. That's what I normally do. But on the left side, you have your inventory, people, places, markets right here, fittings, which is the way your ships are set up. Here you can see my current ship setup, which EvE is complicated, by the way, so I'm not really going to spend 14 hours explaining everything. Here's the fitting, here's all the stats. This is my capacitor, which is essentially power. You can see when I turn stuff off, that becomes stable. High slots are weapons and stuff like that, offensive type stuff. Mid slots are shield defensive capabilities, as well as electronic countermeasures, things like that. Afterburners for speed boosts, micro warp drives, etc., etc. Lots of defensive stuff, as well as lots of maneuverability and or electronic system kind of things, like warp stabilizer, what are they? I don't know. Something that keeps you from warping away. I can't remember what it's called. My hand just twitched there for whatever reason. Bottom is weapon upgrades. I think you can put weapon upgrades in the middle as well for certain weapon types. Weapon upgrades, hull upgrades, and stuff like that. So I have inertial stabilizers, overdrive injectors. On the left here is a rig system where you can... rigs are relatively expensive. They're not terribly high, but I mean 100 million a pop or something like that for medium rigs. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while since I played. But you can put in overall improvements for certain things, like extra shield capacity, extra shield boost, etc., etc. Once you put them in, they cannot be removed without destroying them, so keep that in mind. Here's your fitting allowance, so power grid and CPU. You cannot have more than is allowed on that ship. So I can't take a medium-sized gun and put it on here because it'll take too much CPU for this ship to use. It's basically how they keep you from putting things on ships that aren't supposed to be there. Otherwise, you can essentially put whatever you want. Certain ships are obviously more capable than others. This one, up here you can see turret hardpoints and launcher hardpoints. This one is a gunboat. It can mount turrets, whatever turret you want, but it can only mount turrets. There are missile boats, there are drone boats that use automated drones for attacking or healing or whatever and whatnot. Over here is your station-based buttons. These will change slightly based on what actions the station has available to it, like a repair shop, a reprocessing plant, etc., etc. This one has some basic stuff. It's also got the LP store, which is where you get your stuff for doing a bunch of missions. So you do a bajillion missions, and then one day, one of these very long way days, you might get yourself a Raven Navy issue here, which is actually a battleship. Fleet battleship, actually. But there you go. That's the LP store. I have 76, so it's going to be quite a while before I do that. Higher level missions, harder missions give you higher LP rewards for it, as well as standard rewards. So there's all your that. Fitting, market, some of these are shared. On the left, here's the wallet. You can click load, it'll load all your transaction history, etc., etc. Shares, I have no shares. Orders, apparently all of the stuff I was selling sold, so I don't have any orders. Transactions will tell you transactions between you and another player character. It will not show NPCs as far as I'm aware. So all of these transactions that I've done are between me and another player character. 95% of this game probably is supported by the player base. So for instance, if I open up the market here and say, that's all the ammo. The market looks confusing, I know. So let's go down to, say, ship equipment, hull and armor. Let's open up hull upgrades, this nanofiber. Let's see, nanofiber internal structure 1. Here you go. All of these are being sold by a player. Every single one of these are being sold by a player. Every single one of these is being bought by a player. More often than not, I'm pretty sure you have to at this point, these are actually made by players as well, so they gather the resources to build this. From mining or whatever industrial activity, they build it, they put it on the market. The people who are military-based and don't have a lot of industry-focused skills will buy it from them, go out, fight, get blown up, and then the industry basically just has a loop of that. So the industrial people build something, the military people blow it up, and then the industrial people build it again. It's a loop of basically death. Without death, this game will not function. If it's your first time playing the game, obviously you're going to be running a trial, so you're going to have some limitations. Mainly, the trial limitations are no contracts, so you can't scam people by making a bunch of trial accounts and trying to scam people. Contracts are basically negotiated kind of things between one player to another, so you can sell stuff through contract, you can hire someone to move your products around, your ships around if you don't want to do it yourself. But for the first 30 days of an account, you will have the rookie help channel open. It will always be open. You can close it, but when you log back in, it will reopen again, I'm pretty sure. I recommend using that. Go through the tutorials, do all of the tutorials if it's your first time playing the game. I would recommend starting off with the military tutorials, just because it gives you a better idea of ship control and targeting and stuff like that. And then do the industrial and stuff like that kind of tutorials, etc., etc. But anyway, I'm actually going to go ahead and showcase a mission and describe what's going on in space on the way there. So I can double click on this agent here that's available to me, and they have an objective, denial of reconnaissance, and I may have to actually take a break here, so I'll have to cut something out here. But there's a bunch of different missions, lots of different missions actually. This one's in the same system as me. Wait for a Galente recon ship and then destroy it. That sounds fairly simple. These are all level 1 missions. These are beginner-styled missions, so they're all going to be super easy. So now we can hit this button over here and undock from the station. And I am going to kind of show everything off in space here in a second. It's way complicated. Again, it's EVE, it's complicated. Everything else over here is the same. In the bottom, we have our important buttons: cargo, scanner, reset camera, autopilot. And then we have our shield, armor, and hull or structure, our capacitor, and our speed. And then on the right side here, we have our modules that we equipped. Over here is the overview, shows you whatever's near you. I'm gonna have to take a break. And we're back. And the crazy lady's home. Yay, crazy lady. So anything near you, if it has a little green star, it's in your corporation. If it has a blue star, they're friendly with your corporation. If it has a red star, they are not friendly with your corporation. But we're going to right-click. Basically, everything's right-click here. So we're going to go to Agent Mission, Encounter, and Warp to Location. So you can see my weapons down here, my afterburner, all this lovely stuff. And we're going to go kill stuff. Yay, killing stuff. Always fun. I probably don't have the sound up, do I? Up enough. You guys probably can't hear it at all. Master level, that's the problem. I can always edit it later, so whatever. It's too quiet, I can make it louder later. Regardless, this game has some pretty good music. Sadly, it doesn't trigger very often, which is moderately irritating, but whatever. We have to just sit here and wait, which is kind of boring. So let's zoom out really, really far. I think we can circle the beacon. Probably make the most sense, wouldn't it? Hello, crazy lady.
Hey, crazy boy.
Crazy boy. I know crazy boy. What you talking about?
Tootsie Pops without a stick.
Jesus Christ. Tootsie Pops without sticks. I don't want none of your nonsense. She locked herself in the laundry room. Good lord. Anyway, let's zoom back in here. So I got my afterburner running, so you can see that boosts my speed up quite a bit. I think it's... You can right-click anything and click Show Info. Let's see. Attributes. Speed boost of 112%, and there's our Federation cruiser. This is my orbit button, by the way. I'm going to say hello to the crazy lady again. How are you doing, crazy lady?
Fine. How's your computer geeks doing?
Computer geeks?
How y'all doing today?
Why call them computer geeks?
Are y'all doing okay today?
Yes, I'm doing fine.
Who are you playing with?
Playing with me.
Oh.
Okay. I'm playing a massively multiplayer game by myself. I'm a pro. Anyway, I'm freaking distracted. I have it set up. You can right-click your orbit and set the default orbit distance. I have it set up specifically for me. Again, right-click. I'm getting horribly murdered by this guy in the process, so I may as well start shooting here. Right-click, and you can see all this information: fall off, tracking speed, rate of fire. What is most important for me is this optimal range. So I have it set up basically so my default orbiting distance is the optimal range. I'm using my afterburner to, for the most part, basically speed tank this guy, but he's blowing the crap out of me because I wasn't shooting for the first part of this fight, which is not a good way to do the fight, by the way. Recommend not letting him kill you at the beginning of the fight, but, you know, crazy lady got the mail now. Just being so productive. This should be relatively easy. We should be able to out-tank him, even with our very limited skills. Let me show you the skill tree of this guy before I show you my other character's skill tree. So you can see what we have here. Let me move that so I can still see what's going on. Change the settings. Turn that off so I can show you all of them. So now I can toggle all of the skill trees so you can see all the skills this character has. And he hasn't really trained very much. Turn the shield booster back on to boost my shield back up. Caldari are natively shield tanking. Minmatar are a mix. I'm going to describe the three races. Minmatar are a mix, Amar are natively armor tanking, and Galente are natively armor tanking, so there you go. You can obviously change that, but that's usually what they're best suited for based on their module loadout, etc., etc. But here's all the skills I have. This is but a pale comparison of how many there actually are. Let me actually open the market here. Wish this guy would die. Jeez. It's taking forever to kill this guy, and I don't have a lot of capacitor left because I don't have a lot of skills. But you get your skills from the market. That guy just blew the crap out of me. That's not good. It's those really lucky shots he gets for like 100 damage, which isn't really good at all. Boost back up a little bit out of basically no capacitor, so that's not good. I'm doing very little damage to him right now, which is not good. I'm gonna have to come back into this mission with a different setup. Maybe this will just be an explanation video. I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back into this fight with a different loadout because he is out tanking me right now. So, Doc. When you get below 25% shield, it will actually start bleeding through to your armor, so keep that in mind. Anyway, we'll come back to that fight. Back to the market. You can see skills. There's lots of categories. You open up, say, corporation management. Not a lot. Fairly basic. You open up drones. Holy Jesus. Electronics, they just get... There's a ton of skills. I mean, to train all the skills in the game is... really long. I think like 7 years or something like that. Something crazy. Lots of skills. Lots and lots of skills. You can customize your character however you want. You can be specialized, you can be general, good at everything kind of setup. You can train whatever skills you want, so long as you meet the prerequisites, which is essentially other skills, for the most part. So if you meet the prerequisite of skills prior, you can do whatever you want, essentially. So for instance, advanced planetology here, which is crazy expensive, requires that stuff prior to it, and total training time for this will be 4 days and 4 hours before I could do advanced planetology, which is quite a ways away. But I'm going to change my setup here to a short range style, because those tend to have a higher damage output. So I'm going to open up here my small blasters, if I can find it somewhere around here. Find a good one. What's a good one? Light neutron blaster, is that a good one? Tributes. Meta level, non-existent. Does not have a meta level. Probably not very good then. I don't want a crazy expensive one though. Limited light electron, that doesn't sound very good. Meta level 2, so I guess that's pretty good. Do I want electron or ion? That was the problem. Does it matter? The ion's way more expensive. Ion takes more to fit too. Let me see what the differences are here. Let me fix what I just broke there. Come on, pop up. There we go. So we've got these two. What are the attribute differences here? This is basically what EvE is. It's spreadsheets. Lots of spreadsheets. So the ion has a higher fall off at the expense of tracking speed and fire rate. So I want the electron one. Electron's expensive, isn't it? No, it's not. Never mind. Which one is the electron? Is this one? Is that one the electron? That's the ion. Neutron. It's one of these over here. There it is. So is there one in my station? No, of course not. We'll have to go to Jita. Ah, well. Now you get to see me fly. Woo, flying. So we'll buy 3 of those, and we'll go ahead and fly over to Jita to pick it up. In fact, to make it easier, I'm going to go ahead and pop out of my ship here. Leave ship. Pop. That's actually probably not a good idea now that I've thought about that a bit more. Let's pop back in it, shall we? There's the pod, by the way. You are a capsule pilot, so that's what you are, your little capsule. You are a person, but you actually use the ships through that little pod, so... I'm actually going to do a bit of inventory management here for our first video. I'm sure that's a good idea. Whatever. Anyway, we want to completely remove these. These freaking small resolutions kind of screwing me over. Yes. Ungroup it. And drag them into my item hanger there. So, completely weaponless. You can see there's no more turrets on it. One thing they added in this patch was actually missile turrets, which is a really nice touch. It makes the missile combat look a lot better than it used to. Each missile is actually individually shown, and there's little turrets and stuff and whatnot. Looks a lot cooler. Probably show that on my main character, since it is a missile-based fighter, so it has a Tengu, and it has a carrier, actually. Let me actually see if I can show you their character from here. Search type, character, lovely name for my character, Corn Skull. And there he is, show info. If I can, I don't think I can see his skills from in-game, but we can see, there you go. Don't have a biography, do I? Yeah, I do. Ira Care Bear, please don't shoot me. And then this. That's been there forever. I've had several people message me about that. Notes, don't care, employment history, you can see all the different corporations he's been in. Requiem, Volition, Cult, Requiem again. Intergalactic Expeditionary Assault Force. That was actually a fun one, but it got closed, sadly, so whatever. Most of these I didn't like, so there's my decorations. I probably got a bajillion of them, yeah. Probably got some medals as well, yeah. Volition Cult. Lots of things. Let's see here. Next destination is Jita, actually, that was fast. Go back to looking here. All these certificates are for skills he's trained, so for instance, I could open up this certificate and see what the requirement for that certificate is, but I can't directly look at his skills, sadly, which is disappointing. I can see his standings with stuff. Not my standings. I wanted to see his standings, but I guess I can see the derived standing here between my own characters is apparently bad, which is always good. Actually, no, the Caldari de Minmatar is bad, so... But there you go. That's my character. 1 year, 3 months, and 5 days since I last logged into him. Probably more than that, actually. Well, actually, it'd have to be that much, because that's how long he's been in the corporation. That is the corporation you go to when you leave a player-made corporation. So there's, like, I don't remember how many, 12 NPC corporations or something like that. Probably more than that, but there's a few NPC corporations that you go to automatically. For instance, the one I'm in now, this is the newbie corporation that you join at the beginning of a character's game time, or whatever you want to explain it as. So I'm gonna get a short-range fit here and see how well I work against this dude's tank. Should do substantially more damage than I was doing before. Jita, by the way, is the... Let me open the map up here in a second. Jita is the hub of basically the entire universe, which is this, by the way. That is the entire universe. I went 2 jumps. Let me just show you the distance of 2 jumps here. I probably jumped from one of these systems around here. In fact, it might have been one of these right here. One of these systems, like, in this small area right here of influence, essentially. And then zoom out. This is the region I'm in. This is Caldari State up here. This little area is Caldari. This might screw up my map because I'm going into a station. Nope. And then this is the entire area. I need to pop that back up because it got rid of my freaking map information, which it still didn't bring back up. There it is. Ta-da. Station services, don't care. So I can go ahead and change some settings here so I can show you the security status. The red is no security. There's absolutely no security in the red area, which is, to be honest, most of the universe. This is where all the player-made corporations live. It's where they do their thing. The Jove Empire over here, by the way, you can't get to it. Just so you know, there's no way, as far as I'm aware, to get to it other than for CCP tournaments and events like that, where you're teleported over there, basically. There's no way to jump to it, is what I'm saying. Someone got there at some point. I think they like somehow managed to get there, and then the admins basically kicked them out immediately by blowing them up, which is a great way to kick them out. But there you go. You can see the what the actual 4 nations hold is split up in a very relatively small area compared to the entire universe. But we're here to pick up my stuff I just bought. I can find it and put it on my ship. I mean to open that, because I'm not doing science and industry yet. So it should be in the item hanger. There they are. I should be able to fit them too, so... Easily, wow. If you drag and drop on top of each other, by the way, I thought it made a group, but I guess you can't do that in the fitting hanger anymore, but whatever. Stack up all these and put some ammo in them. Actually, let's not put that ammo in them. Let's actually put different ammo in them, because I want different ammo. Let's get a better close range, high DPS ammo. Lots of different ammo types that affect your hybrid charges. There we go. Don't want advanced blaster, I want standard charges. Small, there we go. All of these affect your damage output and the range of your weapons. So for instance, the one I was using didn't have any effect on it. This one though is minus 25%, but it will have a higher damage output than the one I was using before. What I want is, I'm pretty sure, antimatter, which should be minus 50. Yep, but ton more damage output. It's more expensive, obviously, but I'd buy 5,000 of those. Should be good. Ooh, that's expensive. I say that, but to be honest, it's really not that expensive. I mean, 100,000, it's not too bad. Especially when, 2 days I have 2 million. My other character I have several billion, which is, kind of excessive, but whatever. So now we need to head back to my mission and see if we can do it, which I'm pretty sure is in... Erlin? Yes, Erlin. Erlin ho! Off we go. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Interesting. I'm getting all, rhymey and stuff. I rhymed earlier as well. Probably should stream this just so I don't horribly butcher something up here. Where is the Stargate? There it is. Going to perimeter. As you can see though, lots of different ship sizes. There's another little ship, there's a big ship. There's also freighters. That's a battleship. Can I find a freighter before I warp? Nope, no freighters. Maybe we'll find a freighter on the gate. Freighters are huge, though, as you might expect a freighter to be, as I get some frame rate lag there. Overall, though, the game looks pretty good. Runs really well, in my situation anyway, it runs really well. Passive skill training, so that's real time, whether I'm logged in or not. That'll be training this skill queue here, which I should actually probably put more stuff in. Like electronics might be good, and no. Want more. Small hybrid turret would probably be good. Let's get gunnery. There we go. Throw that in the queue, hit apply, and that'll train stuff for me. Good news. Because I cannot be bothered, and I jumped without paying attention. But are there freighters? There's a freighter. Let me get a look at them here for you. Freighter, quite large. You can see there's a frigate there. That's actually the starter frigate, so you can see just the pure size of this freighter here. Possibly better if I could actually... Let me get over here to this guy. There we go. See him over there? Probably not 25 kilometers away. That's from me. Maybe this guy... No, he's on autopilot. So I was hoping there'd be a small ship next to him, but there's not, so I can't really show you the true scale of it. Alas. Oh, here's me. I could fly over to it, but... I mean, that's 23 kilometers away now. It's pretty darn big. They're really slow, really big, really slow to turn. But they can hold a metric crap ton of stuff inside of them. Which is how you make a metric crap ton of money. By selling a metric crap ton of stuff. And there you go. It's one of the very few ships that can actually carry assembled ships inside of it. That's just how big it is. Usually you have to package up a ship to ship it anywhere, but freighters can do quite large shipping, so good stuff. The other ones are capital ships, like say a carrier, like my other character has, which is actually what he was using the carrier for, to carry stuff. Or say Titans, which are huge. Titans are, well, Titanic. If you couldn't figure that out from the name, I'm sorry for you. But regardless, I didn't really want to warp to my place here. I guess we're going to anyway. You can't stop mid-warp, by the way. It'll stop you once you stop warping, but you cannot actually do it while you're warping. So, and I said that really loud, but regardless, here's the moon. Look at the moon, it's glorious. Because I want to actually fly back over to that guy and see what I can do about massacring him. Okay, encounter, warp to location. Because we have basically 0 range now. Yeah, 550 meter optimal range. I'm not even going to set that as the default, but with an afterburner I should be able to control the engagement range. We'll see how well that works though. Probably should have repaired my hull there, or my armor. By the way, real men, structure tank. That's how this game works. Tank with your structure. Really inefficient way to tank, because the structure repair stuff is really inefficient. It's actually quite bad at it. So orbit, wait for warp dropout, 500, and afterburner. Once I get close to him, I can turn the afterburner off. He's going to do a ton of damage on my way into him, though, is the problem. Because we're going straight at him, which is not optimal, but... By the way, this is not how you actually close distance on someone. Don't go straight at them, because they can very easily butcher you. Turn my guns on, and swing way past him. But because we're so close to him, he should have a bit of trouble hitting us now. At least in theory. We'll see about in practice. And we should be able to out-DPS his tank now, which is good. And you learn this by doing the advanced military tutorial, by the way. They also let you blow up your ship twice in the advanced military tutorial. You get 2 ships for free. You can keep them, or you can actually complete the mission and blow them up. Well, you get 1 per mission anyway. You see he's missing me a lot now because we are way too close to him for his guns to actually track us well enough, so they can't spin, or his guns can't move fast enough to actually keep up with how fast I'm rotating around him. And you can see we're actually out DPSing him, and this is going way better than the last attempt I had. As you can see, an easy fix. Relatively cheap as well, so it's not like I'm going to need to buy 3 more of these if I happen to come across this mission again. Which is possible, but again, lots of different missions you can get. Let's actually have a look at him. Look at him go. You can actually get this ship, by the way. It's a faction ship that you can get. They're relatively expensive, though. You can see all his little turrets trying to keep up with me. He's trying to actually fly away from me, which is why he's always pointing opposite of me. But he is too slow, thankfully. Otherwise, we'd be having some issues here. I think last time I might have been, like, right in his optimal range because he was dealing out some well-placed hits. You'll notice I'm not actually orbiting at 500 meters. It's because I'm going too fast to orbit at 500 meters. But it's not an issue. Because of the accuracy fall-off being like 2,000 something, I can still hit him out to about 2,000. So, but the accuracy will be a bit lower, the damage will be a bit lower, so... This range, though, we're pretty good. We're hitting them basically every shot and dealing decent damage. Good news. And I mean, like, I'm doing this and I'm like, holy crap, 26 damage, 30 damage, that's amazing. But then I get the other character and I'm dealing like 300 damage a hit or something on average. Which is, you know, whatever. So this is the only guy we have to fight in this mission. He's actually pretty difficult. That's probably why he's the only guy we have to fight in this mission. Usually there's large groups of stuff you have to fight. And he dropped loot. None of which I really want. I guess I'll grab those too. Oops. For some reason I'm flying away from that loot, so let's try and fix that real quick. You'll note you can't actually deactivate a module until it's completed a loop, I guess, or whatever. So, and then it's done. So it'll keep actually acting like it's running, that afterburner, until it's actually done its entire cycle time, I guess is what it's called. But now we go back to the base. I don't want to pick up that, whatchamacallit, that he dropped. But you can, if you're... I recommend doing it. I'm doing a trial account, so I don't really care, but... Apparently that guy's processing. There's some bugs with this patch, but EvE, they'll fix it eventually. Usually relatively quickly, so... I'm going to fly back to the station here, dock, turn in the mission, and that'll be it for this first thing here. And we'll see about activating my other character and giving some gameplay of that. Which is good, because that'll give a bit more variety and look into the higher level stuff. Would you like to dock? There we go. Setting course for docking perimeter. Yay. And yeah, the game's crazy quiet, so I'm going to have to adjust that in the processing of post. So to turn it in, just double click. You can see we've completed our objective. You can check it in the field by going to the journal here. I'll show you the same stuff. And then click complete mission. And we get our reward, and there you go. You can request another one. I'm not going to do that right now, but there you go. I will see you guys next time for the higher level stuff.